Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Outhouse Thoughts. I've decided that I'm going to stop saying, well, this one's probably going to be a mess because I have no idea where I'm going with it because every episode's kind of a mess because I have no idea where I'm going with it. It probably makes more sense to be, hey, I have a plan for this episode. I really look like a man with a plan. so, yeah. So this past week kind of sucked. Last week, yeah, past 7 days kind of sucked. On last Tuesday, the mother of a friend I had in high school died. She was only 66, which is scary because both of my parents are older than that, which brings in that first level of dread like, shit, this, you know, someone younger than my parents died. So how long are my parents going to be around? And I know in the past I've said bad things about my parents, but I kind of like that they're alive, just, you know. And what makes this so much worse is, well, I went to high school with this girl, and we may not have stayed in super touch since then, but still, we were close in high school. My wife actually has known her since elementary school, and they were insanely close friends when they were younger. And she was insanely close with the mother. Like she was, her mom too. Always sleeping at the other person's house, and whenever Trisha's mom would go away, she would go to this person's house and stay there for a while. So she's been absolutely crushed by all of this that's going on. And sorry about all the throat clearing. I have no idea what's going on. Um, it brought a lot of things to the front of my brain. First of all, I was at we went to the funeral. And Jews do things very quickly. Usually, you bury a person as soon as you physically can. There's no wakes. There's none of that. It's just dead. Yep, in the ground. Then later on, you do the thing with the headstone and everything. They call it a revealing, but so that's why, just in case someone was wondering why it happened so quickly, um, this family was just fucking devastated. And yeah, it's a family. You're supposed to. But again, I have said many bad. Dude, what's going on? I've said many not great things about my family, but yeah, strange. And I was sitting there thinking, like, yeah, it would be obviously very emotional if someone in my family died. But like they were sobbing and falling on top of each other, and I don't know how I can go on without this person, in my life anymore. Yes, the person's always with you, and blah blah blah. But that's again not super the point right now. And at first, it made me really sad because it's just like my family wouldn't be like that. It doesn't really matter who it was. We wouldn't be like pouring on top of each other, like fainting and crying and all of that stuff. So I got kind of sad for a second, and then I even remembered what I did the whole post on family, and it's just like, does it really matter if my actual blood family would be, you know, overly emotional about it? If I know for a fact that there are people that would be anyway. Again, this is pushing forward as, if it were me kind of thing, which I love to try and not to think about, but still can't really stop that guy. So that feel better is absolutely the wrong word because you don't feel better when you're sitting at a funeral, standing. Um, but still, I guess comfort is a better word for that. Like it was so strange for me, like sitting there watching these people just like, not that they were sad. It's not strange that they were sad, but it's just so different from my family experience. And I know every family has their own experience and blah, blah, blah. But still, it was just, I don't know, going through my head a lot. And I guess I did find comfort in the fact that, well, yes, I know if I were to die before my mom would, well, parents, they would, be overly upset about it. But, the rest of my family would just be like, I mean, that sucks. My family member died. Not that blasé about it. I mean, they would be emotional, but it wouldn't be like, how do I go on with my life? But I know I do have some very close people that would be much more emotional than my family would be. And again, It was just another nice reminder that just because you're born into this clan, whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean that's the end all be all. That's not what you have to hold on to in the end. You build your own as you go out, you branch off, you make your own timeline if you want to stick with all the Marvel shows we're watching right now. So yeah, that was that part of it. And the next part of it was there were some people there that gave my wife a very hard time when they were younger. I'm not going to get into specifics. I'm not even going to get into the severity because it's not my story to tell. But it got me thinking, how long do you hang on to stuff? Like, I mean, I'm not even talking about forgiveness necessarily because some people don't deserve it. Some people probably don't even remember that they did shitty things to you. Like, it's just so strange. Like, I know I was a bit of an, it's not even that I was an asshole when I was younger. Well, when I was very younger, yes, I was. But like in high school, I absolutely know that my depression turned outwards every once in a while and I was a dick to people. I don't remember specific examples, but I remember having that feeling every once in a while. So absolutely, there's some dude walking down the street that, oh, that one time that fucking Russ kid was such a dick. But it's just like there was one kid in high school that picked on me for the pure reason that he was 6 foot and change, pure muscle football player. And yeah, I was 6 feet tall, but I was not muscular whatsoever. And I was a nerd, geek more like it, you know. Nerd to me, nerd denotates intelligence. And well, I was smart. I didn't try, so it's not like I had good grades. But you know, comic books and all that shit. Like so, that was like, and you know, goth music. So it was the pure reason that this kid just randomly pushed me into lockers or would punch me for no freaking reason. And like, if I walk down the street, I graduated in 2000, and he was even older than me. So he graduated, I think, the year before. So he graduated in 99. So we're talking 22 years later. We're walking down the street. I see this guy. Would I recognize him? I mean, probably not. But let's pretend I did. Like, do I really just go, that fucking piece of shit? I can't, you know, fuck that guy. You know what? Let me go. I'm a bigger man now. Let me go and start like, chances are this dude is married with kids or something. Like, do I really like beef over this 22 years ago? Especially when like I can tell you that this dude will have absolutely no fucking idea who I am. Even if I said, hey, Ross Fisher, Marlboro High School, you graduated in 1999, I was a year younger than you. You used to do this and this and this. There was one time you did this and that. And he'll probably just be like, sorry, bro. Like, is it worth holding on to that? Now, I know there's a lot of, it's very individual. That's really what I was going to try and say. Like, there's extremes, there's things that absolutely are worth holding on to that anger. There are, well, no, let me reword that because you shouldn't hold on to anger. Please, therapy, find something. Um, remember, I guess, you know, you should remember that anger, remember the feelings because chances are, if you've dealt with it healthily, I think is a real word, you know, you moved that into something else and that something else hopefully is good for you. But like, how, again, it's really tough to do without going into specifics, and I won't, but like, we're talking not 30 years ago, it's a little too long, but like 25 years ago that my wife got into a very big fight and it was bad. And she still has so many strong feelings about it that when she sees these people who were at the funeral, that's why this came up, like emotions happened. And it was just kind of not strange, but I guess I was taken aback by how raw it all still was. And it got me thinking that while I know maybe she shouldn't forgive these people for what they did, I kind of took a step back and, you know, thought about all of the things, like, you know, stuff I probably did when I was younger, stuff people did to me when I was younger, because I never did anything all that terrible to anyone. No one really did anything all that terrible to me. So everything is on a much, much smaller level. Um, that, like, at what point, like, let's say, okay, let's go back to this original football player guy. Like, let's say we're walking down the street, like, or we're in a freaking business get together. Fuck it. Let's say we go to the FF Expo, like we're going in a couple of weeks, and like I see that dude there, and I'd be like, "Oh, hey man, you were a dick to me in high school. Yeah, sorry about that." Like you just sort of like let it go, right? You move on at that point, or like, do you actually like? Let's pretend like, okay, hey man, we went to high school together. Oh, did we? Sorry. Oh yeah, you were a fucking asshole to me. Like, do you do that? Do you like to me that makes me feel like I'm an asshole. Like I've been holding on to this for so long, and this dude literally has no idea who he was. Because let's face it, most people are assholes when they're teenagers. For whatever reason it is, you're going through a shitty time, hormones everywhere, and nobody likes high school. All right, unless you're super popular and awesome, but I'm not those things. So, but like, I don't know if it's a feeling of strangeness or a feeling of. I mean, I don't think weakness is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the hell. I never know what I'm trying to say. But like, it's so weird that like we remember some of these things. Like, I literally remember this kid finding out it was my birthday. I turned like 16, let's say. Literally like pushed me up against lockers and gave me 16 birthday, 17 because one for the buck, punches in the arm. And like I said, he was a freaking football player. It fucking hurt. No matter how strong I like to think I was, 17 punches in the arm ain't great in the same spot. And it's just like, cool. Do I bring this up to a dude after 22 years, at least in a serious fashion? Like, at least if I was like joking around about it, like, fine, maybe. But like, do you I keep asking the same question, like how long do you hold on to this stuff? Like what's it worth? What does it do? How do you get I mean, clearly how do you get rid of it? It's a completely different question altogether that, therapy. Hopefully not just drugs. Let's put that out there, but drugs always help. Um, it's just super unfortunate that shit has to happen to people. And when you're like I am and my wife are, and we are so comfortable in where we are, I guess a lot of people in this place where we are, because a lot of people seem to stay around, mostly because we're all spoiled assholes and we stick around our parents. Um, like you run into these people. It's inevitable. It happens. And like, how you were, what you were when you were a teenager, and that sucks because most people don't really enjoy being in their young teens. Now I'm just kind of sad remembering high school and how not great high school was. It was really funny. When I was talking to one of the kids we went to high school with, and I was in the marching band, which I don't think is news to anyone, but she's like, no, man, we were cool back then. And I go, oh, really? And I have a picture of me when I was in the marching band, and it is not flattering at all. And I hold it up to her, I'm like, no, you're remembering wrong. We were not cool when we were younger. And of course, everyone got a big laugh out of that. I don't know. Maybe this is me, pointing out to myself that maybe I need to go back to therapy, especially for this kind of stuff, because the kind of stuff, just because you remember it, I guess, doesn't mean it still affects me. But the fact that I'm putting this much thought into it, maybe it does. I didn't think it does. I feel like I've shut out or repressed most of high school. But again, I'm sitting here stuck thinking about it, and of course, you don't know why I'm still over there. Like, of course, this goes beyond shit that happened to you in high school. Stuff that happened 6, 7 years ago in the past is something. Like, how long do you hold on to? This guy was an asshole to me this time. This girl did this shitty thing. When I was a freshman in college, my girlfriend at the time cheated on me. And yeah, I was very angry about that for a lot of years. But like, I saw her a couple of years ago, and it's like, do I still act mad towards her? No, that's fucking stupid. I'm married at the time. I'm married. I have a kid. Like, do I really still get upset about something that happened when I was 20? No, like, it just. So past trauma sucks, is really what this comes down to. And I feel like moving on and forgetting are two very different things. And I guess this is me trying to separate the two of those ideas. Like again, it would come down to how you brought it up to someone, right? Like, hey, you were such a dick to me in high school, dude. Or you really hurt me when we were in high school are two completely different things. And hopefully you have gotten to a point where you could do it that first way, where you could do it a little flippantly, where you can have a little seriousness behind it, but at least still say it as a joke where it doesn't still affect you anymore. But I guess this is also like how long someone makes a mistake, how long do you hold it against them kind of thing. Someone tweets out something stupid 6 years ago. Like, are they still racist assholes, assuming that they now have changed their tune? Don't we want people to learn? You know, yeah, I said something stupid 6 years ago. It was wrong. Look at me for the past 6 years. You will see that I have never done it again. And this isn't me again. Maybe it is. I don't remember the shit I said 6 years ago. Please don't go searching. My Twitter doesn't go back that far anyway. But like, yeah, I've said absolutely shitty things. I used to say things in a derogatory manner that shouldn't be. I've learned and I've stopped. But like, how long do you hold? Like, we saw it for the past few years. This person said this on Twitter 6 years ago. Hashtag canceled. Like that stupid shit. Like, we want to learn. We want to grow. We should expect people to learn and expect people to grow. But how long do you hold on to that original wrongdoing for? And I don't know the answer to that question, but it's something that like goes through my head a lot. And I don't really know. I guess I'm just going to end this at this point because I don't really know where I'm going from this after all of that. But all of this, I guess, is just trying to find a way to be as mentally healthy as possible. I guess that's the best way to put it. And holding on to past shit makes that impossible, I guess, right? Like, if you're holding on to stuff from 20 years ago, you're not going to be healthy now. So, yeah, yeah. I guess I'll see you next time, everybody. I don't really know even how to close this out.